Welcome to another episode of the Generation X Retro Gaming Club with me, your host,
and me,
Clive Linden,
and me, Rokk.
And my co-host.
I always like to come first.
Yeah, that's the problem. We've had conversations about it. It doesn't matter.
Sorry,
there are other ways. Welcome, but we're starting the bar low already here.
It's got to get higher, isn't it?
Exactly. Yes, you can't get any lower than that already. God, we passed the watershed. Yeah, we are by 4 minutes.
Just about. Yeah, sorry about that.
Welcome, chat. Thank you for being here once again Tuesday night, for choosing to spend your Tuesday night with Rokk and I here on the Generation X Retro Gaming Club, the number one podcast for the older gamer, the retro gamer, the slightly mature gamer. Welcome. So let us know in the chat, what games have you been playing this week? What's on your mind? What questions you might have? Blah. Adam, what have you been playing this week?
Well, as it happens, I've been playing a fair chunk of Destiny 2. So, I'm a big fan of Destiny 2. Maybe not so much these days as I used to be, but I just realized I hadn't really played much of the new season, so I ought to pick it up. And then one of my very generous and lovely patrons said to me, would I mind playing a couple of hours with them just to kind of show them the ropes, because they picked it up, couldn't work out what to do. Typical thing that you hear these days, sadly. Yeah. So yeah, we ran around Destiny for a couple of hours. Do you know what? It was lovely. It was lit. I wish I'd recorded it, really, because it was just me yabbering on for 2 hours, covering everything. And at the end of it,
good stream idea.
It was absolutely. I did suggest that, but I think he was a little shy. But it turned out that after that, he was like, "Wow, it's actually a really impressive game," and he's been playing it ever since. So it's a shame that Bungie haven't done similar. But a bit of that, load of PC stuff. As you know, I signed up for Uplay Plus PC. I've got a 7-day trial this week. Well, I think to the end of July. So I signed up for that, and I've been playing some Ubisoft games, mainly ones I either own or have already played. But just because graphics, they're amazing. And I pre-ordered Death Stranding, which launched today. But because of the
on the PC,
on PC, yeah, it was, as you know, it was originally a PlayStation exclusive, much to the chagrin of PlayStation fanboys, that it found its way to PC, and so I'm really looking forward to having a look at that later, getting my feet into the graphics there. But yeah, what about your good self?
Well, as hopefully everybody here watched me play Doom 64 on this very channel last week. That was really interesting because I had no idea what to expect, really. But it's absolutely the DNA of Doom runs all the way through that. So I had a great fun that. Continued a bit with Monster Boy, but I realized it's a proper difficult platformer, where the enemies, or the sort of the path that the enemies take, get harder and harder. It gets sort of there's more stuff going on as you progress, and you sort of get into the flow of it.
Yeah.
Obviously, PUBG at the weekend is a regular thing. We're trying to make it a regular thing, although I was hoping there was another game that I could start playing this week, but it's not been announced. Although Dead by Daylight looks like a good game to stream, so maybe
looks great.
We could be doing that when it comes out on Stadia. Well, I'm sure there's other games I was exploring. They're the main things anyway. That was playing the same old, as it were. Funny, my son said to me, I was ranting at PUBG because I just got a single shot in the head. Oh
no!
What is the point of having a helmet and then you get one shot and you're dead? No. And my son walked past, and he said, in seriousness, and he said to me, "Dad, do you want me to come on and carry you for a bit?" Like, when he's 10, and already it's like I would expect him to sort of give me a sort of a a hand around the shoulder or a helping hand until like I was in my dotage and he was in his 30s or something. But at 10, he's always saying, "Dad, oh, it's all right, Dad. Don't worry, I'll help you out. Yeah, do you want me to carry you?"
Similar thing happened. So this week, my little you've heard me mention my little nephew George before he's 8, bless him, and his dad bought him a laptop and asked me if I'd set it up for him, and he said, look, specifically, can you set the parental stuff up, because I only want him to do a couple of hours a day, whatever. That's absolutely fine. So I set up a parental account, Microsoft, up in the cloud, so his dad can access it and work on all the hours and stuff. And I gave him quite a complex password, which wasn't made up of known words or anything. And I got a text tonight from my brother-in-law to say, "That little sod, he's been in and he discovered the password. He's gone in and changed all his parental settings." How the hell has he done that?
Genius. Yeah.
I tell you, mate, what have we bred? What have we bred?
Hackers of the future. Yeah. Absolutely.
Wow.
So have a quick look at chat there. Oh, Zero Games started playing Heavy Rain on PC. And Monster Boy on Stadia. Did you enjoy, actually, we played,
isn't it? You're right.
We played PUBG Team Deathmatch. Did you enjoy that?
Yes.
On Friday?
What was the one? What was war mode?
Where you die and then come back, respawn.
Yeah, it was different, wasn't it? It was quite good, I thought. What did you think?
And it's in first person.
Was it? Yes, it was. I think that was I think that may have been an option that I just didn't spot when you set up the map.
No, you're right. Team Deathmatch is in first person. Yeah.
Is it? Yeah,
you can swap to first person in the main game,
right?
If you want.
Okay.
But
most people
Team Death, the default is first person.
Yeah.
I was watching it. Sorry, I was watching. I was in a random squad, and of course I was dead. So I was watching this other person in the squad, and they looked like they were really good, and they utilized that third person and first person sort of switch really effectively. So obviously, when they were coming into a potential contact situation, they flipped into first person because obviously felt more comfortable playing in an FPS style manner. And then when they were wandering around, they were more in that third person sort of Destiny in the tower kind of perspective.
When you got a sword.
And there was a brilliant bit where there was some action going on a building across the road, and they threw a smoke grenade, and then they threw another one, and then they threw another one. And I thought, oh no, they're making a wall so they can sort of go along one side of it. Wow. But no, what they actually made was like a corridor. They threw the smoke grenades sort of one after each other, almost perfect distance apart, and then ran through the middle of the smoke across the road to the building, completely hidden. They'd basically built themselves a smoke corridor across the road. And I thought, this person knows what they're doing.
Yeah. I find the best.
They got shot.
Plus, they died of smoke inhalation.
When they came out of the tunnel.
They got smoke inhalation and died, bless them.
Yeah.
But you do find watching the people that that you're either in your fire team or what have you, watching how they play is one of the best ways to play.
You and I were going, oh my God, that is amazing.
Yeah.
I hit the 30-second record to capture it. I'll share it. Anyway, should we get on with the news?
Yes, let's find
out
like
the news today is more like a sort of the bit at the end of the news, and finally, that bit.
Ooh.
The light-hearted bit.
Yeah.
So okay, first bit of news is this. I think it's close to my heart for a number of levels, and you'll see why in a minute. What am I doing? News. There we go. Right. It's this Lego NES console set. NES console set is releasing. It's a NES built out of Lego, including the TV that you build out of Lego. Lego also have a Mario set, and apparently the Mario set is compatible with this. And so it's quite a lot of money. It's about 200 quid. But it's a full-on set. Here are 230 euros. 2,646 pieces.
Jeez.
And you basically recreate Nintendo's 80s gaming system from Lego. Here we are. I'll play on full screen and you get the idea.
So it's a commercially available. I thought just some guy put it together when I saw this.
No.
200 quid. It is stunning, though.
Is that it? That was a bit short. I've got a better one. That was a bit crap. I thought it was longer than that. Right, I have a better one. Hold your horses. Talk much yourselves. But it's really cool, and there's a really nice touch in this little video I'm about to play. Eventually, here we are. See there?
He blows his cartridge.
Yeah. So you build your own wraparound screen with your Lego set. Look.
Amazing. So how many YouTubers are going to be buying that? Just shove it on their little shelf behind their camera.
Exactly. Content creators just wanting to sort of have it in the background and stuff.
Yeah, you could see that with old Bill and Lloyd, couldn't you?
Yeah, but that looks. I'd have it. I mean, that looks really cool.
Oh, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
It's interesting because what Lego do is they have a community vote about what should we do next, and then the idea or concept that gets the most votes, they look at considering it, turning it into an actual product.
Oh wow!
So you had I think there was a Big Bang Lego set, the sitcom.
Oh, okay. As opposed to the astronomical event, I just imagine starts off with one little bit of Lego, and then it rapidly expands out to a massive
very
box
quickly.
Yeah,
yeah, not as highbrow as that.
No,
yeah.
I was up for that.
Yeah,
with Brian Cox in the background. It's a very nice piece of Lego. This.
It's amazing.
It's absolutely amazing.
Space.
Black and everything.
It's amazing. Space is wonderful.
It goes on forever.
Brian Cox for you. Anyway, I just thought that was very interesting and really cool. Obviously a great fan of Lego. If anybody could see the other side of the window here, I have a big Lego collection. I have a big Lego collection. My son, who I live my life vicariously through, has a big Lego collection.
Of course.
But that would look very nice in there, or as you say, just behind me.
Yeah, 100%.
The other thing,
quite small. You would need it quite close behind you, wouldn't you? In a kind of
it's quite a big
Father
one,
Ted perspective way.
Yeah, I think it's quite.
But things get very small quickly, mate, on these fisheye lenses.
Far away.
Yeah.
Close up. Here's very near. This cow is far away.
You're right there, Ted.
The other thing, so this is not really kind of news, but from a retro gaming fan. So this was kindly link was sent to me by Yoshida, who is in the chat. I see
she is,
and I found a further video. So if you're into retro gaming or you like collecting retro games, then check this out. Cadbury's.
Even when they've gone gaming.
What?
They're still joining in.
You're almost there. I can see it.
Well, I'm going to stop and watch this ad for a minute.
Come on.
Cadbury ice cream.
Oh, that's curious. Did you see that was an advert aimed at games?
Once upon a time, there was an 8-year-old boy who loved video games so much he wanted to play them all.
This is this guy's house.
Then, at the age of 12, he told his mother he wanted to collect them all. That was 32 years ago. Hi, my name is Joel, and welcome to my games room.
This guy is, I'll turn it because we'll get copyright stuck on the thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he has, this is a whole full on, these are all full on arcade machines. This is in his house, bear in mind. These are different rooms in his house. And he's got a full arcade center and he's painted out in the same colors as the arcade center that he went to as a kid. Then he's got a modern games room, which we saw earlier on, with his sort of wife and his kids sitting next to each other, and they're all watching giant 60-inch screens and playing on all the latest consoles. Then he's got his retro room, and he's got a computer room, which has a collection of gaming computers from the early 80s, rare ones from Japan, right up to modern times. Then he's got all his various merchandising. So this is the modern setup here. So he's got all the consoles, big 3 giant screens, and they're all playing. There's a gaming family for you. I mean, that literally is their front room.
But I mean, this is an ultra professionally made video as well. So I mean, this is
well, this video is Guinness Book of World.
Oh, they've
Records
come in
video.
and made the film. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's another video. I mean, his collection is just redonkulous.
Yeah, I mean, this is a man who's not short
just
a few
one room.
pennies, is he?
Well, he's got an interesting history as far as I can tell. He's not from a kind of rich background or anything like that. He's just genuinely collected it over the years. He worked for some companies who gave him some stuff and took some stuff, but he's worked in computer shops and just general things like that.
Why not? I mean, some people.
And then he's built up a reputation, and people have sent him stuff. Like Sony sent him stuff, and that's his magazine collection.
Does he live in a shed? Has he got like a warehouse somewhere?
This is his house. His house. He walks around his house.
It's amazing.
But the only room without any games in it, I bet, is the kitchen.
But I mean, it's literally set out like a GameStop, or you know,
yeah. Well, one of them, he said he based it. One of his displays for the old, some of the retro game areas, he designed it based on the old computer gaming shop he used to work in. This is his computer collection. There's Commodore 64.
Zap 64. I remember it well.
And he talks about here the early Japanese gaming computers, some of which were used to develop games on the Japanese consoles.
That is one heck of a collection. And everything is in pristine condition, isn't it?
Yeah, and he's got some really rare items, in which there were maybe 2 or 3 of them in the world. Let me just... so he was visited by... There's this YouTube channel here.
It's Texas.
And they go and visit him. He's in Australia, I think.
Well, this guy's in Australia.
That's where it's got a lot of Japanese... Yeah, it's got a lot of Japanese stuff.
Just up the road.
Because it was easier to get the Japanese stuff.
Yeah. That was amazing.
So Austin Creed, these guys have, I don't know who they are. Maybe somebody in chat know who these people are. They look like wrestlers, but they're massive gaming fans. And they've been invited to this guy's house. This is the guy's house in Australia. They came on a big coach. You can see that. So this is his house from the outside. These are you know, retro gaming hardcore fans. They've got their own channel, and he invited them to their house, and they are absolutely wetting themselves over this stuff. There's his kitchen. I told you I had no games in it.
Huh.
But if you watch the video, I'll leave a link for everybody to watch it, especially this one, because these guys are so enthusiastic. They're like almost in tears at some of the stuff that they're seeing. And
do you think he serves up sort of like gaming meals? You know,
yeah,
like dinners with, you know, Mario pizza and stuff.
Mario breakfast cereal or something like that.
Yeah.
But there's some amazing things in here where he goes, there are only, you know, 3 of these made in the world. Or there was some games made, like I think it was a Tetris game, and it was made for a system, and they'd lost the license, so they had to destroy all the copies. And only 3 of these copies exist in the world, and he's got a couple of them.
Unbelievable.
I highly recommend people go and watch the video. I will put the link in the chat. It's hilarious in terms of how excited these guys get. I could just sit and watch that and talk about it. There, if you're into retro gaming, there'll be so many highlights.
Well, if you're not, what are you watching this for?
Yeah, exactly. We need to be on these guys. AJ Styles. Yeah, their channel is called Up Up Down Down. Here we are. Yeah, they're WWE Super Showdown, AJ Styles and Austin Creed. Yeah. So these are WWE wrestlers who are massive gaming fans.
Into gaming, yeah. A lot of sports people are, Clive. You know, I'm a big fan of our local rugby team. And one of the guys was on Twitter the other day saying he was doing a 48-hour fortnight-a-thon to raise money for charity.
Very good.
48 hours.
Yeah. Jeez. Don't get any ideas, Yoshida. Right. There we go. I highly recommend watch the video. It's very good. Really good stuff there. Yeah.
Brilliant. Enjoyed that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. This day in history. Okay. So I think I have a doozy. Wasn't this day? It's this week. So I've cheated slightly. It's July the 20th, 1983. That's a little game developed by one of my favorites, Shigeru Miyamoto, and his co-worker at Nintendo, the chief engineer, Gunpei Yokoi. Sorry, Yoshida, for the pronunciation.
Yokoi came from Newcastle.
Yokoi. Yeah, okay. That's Scottish, yeah. It's this. What? You can hardly see it. Mario Brothers arcade game.
Wow.
So 1983. Now we talked about, you asked me about the plumbing. Why were they plumbers? A few shows ago. We're going to find out, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go on a little history lesson.
Yeah.
So obviously Mario and Luigi are doing some underground plumbing when all sorts of weird creatures come flying out of the pipes. Turtles, crabs, even fighter flies attack the helpless Mario Brothers. It's up to you to kick, punch, and knock out these sewer pests before time runs out. And let's check out. Look, this, you'll get the idea here. I mean, you know what it is, but this is there just to take us back.
Yeah.
Bloody adverts! Come on. So 1983, this week. This is what it looked like. So originally in the arcades. And he had a life, of course, before he was Mario. He was Jumper Man. No, Jump Man. He was Jump Man.
Wearing a decent sweater.
Yeah. I think originally, so in the days, so you can see this is like a follow-up to Donkey Kong and stuff. I remember this in the shops when it sort of ported to the various sort of game systems at the time.
Yeah.
This is bringing it all back to me. But the history of Mario, since we were talking about it last week, is very, very interesting. Well, it's not interesting, but it's, we talked about it. So I'm going to talk about it now. You asked me, were they always plumbers? But the answer is no. There we go. So obviously, this is where it really kicked it all off in terms of Mario became into existence. Obviously, he did feature as part of Donkey Kong. I think he was originally known as Jumpman, as I said. But this is a time where we sort of see Mario and his brother Luigi in their role as plumbers. And the idea of the plumbers was the fact they have to go down the sewers and sort out what's going on down there. And the reason it was sort of set in New York is Shigeru just imagined, all the sewage pipes and everything underneath New York, all the sort of, the sewer system under there. So here we are. Mario Brothers was created by Shigeru Miyamoto and Gunpei Yokoi, two of the lead developers for the video game Donkey Kong. In Donkey Kong, if Mario dies, he dies if he falls too far. And then they had a conversation about this, about saying maybe he shouldn't die if he falls from a height. And that sort of changed some of the mechanics of the game. Because of Mario's appearance in Donkey Kong with overalls, a hat, and a thick moustache, Shigeru Miyamoto thought that he should be a plumber as opposed to a carpenter, and designed the game to reflect that. Another contributing factor was the game's setting. It was a large network of pipes, so they felt a change in occupation was necessary for him. So there we are. So the story of how Mario went from Jumpman to Mario is that an Italian-American landlord, Mario Segal, had barged into Nintendo's American staff to demand rent, and they decided to name Jumpman after him.
That is amazing.
The landlord of Nintendo America was called Mario Segal.
Well,
and that's
Steven's dad.
Yeah, exactly. Good job. It wasn't Steven. Nobody called Steven and Luigi. Yeah. Steven Brothers. Hasn't got quite the same ring, has it?
Not
Steven
really.
Brothers.
No.
Oh, very odd.
Wow. Well, that's that. Actually, I found that really interesting. Really interesting. I've been watching the game. I let the game continue while you went to Wikipedia, and I'm fascinated by. I love watching the animation when he pops up and makes the pipe jump, the bend in the pipe as his head hits it.
Oh,
I love
right,
that.
yeah.
I'd want to go and play this now. But like you say, it's when you watch something like Monster Boy. I mean, I appreciate technically it's of its time now, but it's all there. All the basics, the fun is all there in these games.
All the mechanics, the jumping, the timing, yeah,
it's all there. Great stuff.
They introduced a technique that you had to sort of flip you could just hit the characters. You had to sort of flip them and then sort of jump on them. So you couldn't just jump on them. You had to sort of knock them over and then jump on them. And that became a reoccurring mechanic in all the Mario games.
Very good.
But yeah,
very good.
On the 20th or this week, back in 1983.
Wow, brilliant!
Another good
start
find of Mario Brothers.
Yeah, superb.
Right, moving on. Moving on, ladies. We now, ladies and gentlemen, come to the part of the show which requires audience participation. Chat, are you ready for this? I hope so, because we've got a doozy. We've got a doozy for you. It's time for the Generation X game. Didn't they do well? Did they do well? Yes, ladies. Yes, gents. It's the Generation X gaming show. And this is Generation X game. And my game, I'm going to go first. My game, again, to me, is a combination made in heaven, potentially. It's Shigeru Miyamoto. Not again, Clive. Yes, he's back once again. I am introducing another Shigeru Miyamoto, so influential in the history of Nintendo, combining with another major influencer in the history of Nintendo, Rare Games, which we talked about, of course, before, with GoldenEye, etc.,
Yes,
and Perfect Dark. And they were one of the few Western developers really highly favored by Nintendo. And what I'm talking about is this, ladies and gentlemen, and let me know if this rings a bell with anybody. This is just the later part of the series. There were versions on the N64. It's O2. More bloody ads.
See, I pay the fee, mate. I don't have the adverts. You've only got yourself to blame.
Rareware. Say that when you're drunk. Rareware.
What year was this? 2002.
This particular version, yeah.
Great graphics, even now.
Yeah, this is so rare. They're so rare. Not literally rare. I mean,
exemplary of what they do.
let me find you some gameplay.
Yeah.
The climbing, the animation, the cute, slightly cute animation.
Sort of 3D platform, really.
Yeah. So it's Star Fox, which is a popular character within the Nintendo world. I think he's part of the Smash Brothers Brawl thing, the Mario one of the characters. You know, they have loads of characters in the.
Is anybody there?
But
Are you okay?
Yeah, it looked amazing. This is on the GameCube,
and you
in
must
fairness.
Be the Queen Earthwalker.
But it looked amazing, even on the GameCube. But originally, in the earlier versions of Star Fox, it was like a Star Wings type thing, where you're flying through, taking on,
Did you get that, Slippy?
having battles in space. Whereas this, it brings him down to a planet, and then it's in a 3D platforming way with this sort of running story.
Okay, lady,
Look at the
I'll
lighting
bring
on
your son
that.
back to you.
It's amazing.
Can you give me some directions?
Anyway, really popular character. I'll give you a hint of the older look of the game. This was the GameCube version, which I really enjoyed playing. Have I got an older one? Yes, that was Star Fox Adventures, but the other one is really more. It was really popular. It's more him flying his spaceship, taking on asteroids and other spaceships, then landing on a planet, and then taking off. And then, yes, Zero Games is saying Star Wing on the SNES and stuff. Star Fox Adventures took it into more of a sort of it took him out of his spaceship and gave it more of a sort of 3D platforming world, which I really love personally for me. But there we are. Star Fox Adventures, ladies and gentlemen, is my
very good
Generation X game.
Did they make a cartoon or something out of this character? I seem to recollect.
I'm not sure, to be honest. Let's have a quick look at the wiki, and then we can might be able to ascertain.
Yes. Got a feeling they crossed over into.
Yeah, originally intended for the N64, Shigeru Miyamoto convinced Rare to design the game to be part of Star Fox series and a launch title for GameCube. I love the GameCube. Released in September 2002, it's the only game that Rare ever made for GameCube, as well as the final game Rare developed for home Nintendo console, because they were then obviously acquired by Microsoft, which they are now part of, and they are responsible for Sea of Thieves. So I'm a big fan of theirs. But, you know, they had Banjo-Kazooie and all that kind of stuff as well. So
yeah. But
the game is, so this particular game is third person's perspective with full camera control, which is to say different, so more like in the spirit of a Legend of Zelda type thing. Originally, What would become Star Fox Adventure was originally developed by Rare as Dinosaur Planet, completely unrelated title, which you can see where the dinosaurs are in it, and they've obviously just put the Star Fox character in it.
Yeah. I see. So they already had the maps and a lot of the work was already done. They just dropped the guy in with his puzzles and things.
Yeah, Shigeru Miyamoto mentioned in a retrospective interview that after reviewing content of Dinosaur Planet, the similarities of Rare's anthropomorphic design of Saber to Nintendo's Fox McCloud design was striking. So they changed it to be a Star Fox brand title. There we go.
Nice, a beautiful game, mate. I have to say, I would actually enjoy playing that now. It looks so good.
Yeah, it was a big departure from the original version, which was more a flying game, in a kind of Star Wings pilot wings type thing, which some people didn't like because it was too much of a departure. But I think they just saw it as taking the franchise to a different level, you know, rather than just being stuck in a spaceship flying around.
What's interesting watching this is that it reminds me, maybe in a slightly more naive way, of Star Wars Fallen Jedi.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, we've said it before, there's nothing new today. It's all based at some level on historical games. And of course, that's you'll see because it's coming to Stadia later in the year. But I think this reminds me of a kind of a 17-year-old version, or probably 15 years when they built Fallen Jedi. So yeah, it's all there. Very good. Nice one, Clive.
Right, your one, ladies and gentlemen. I'll call up the YouTube.
Yes, mine's quite obscure.
Yeah, again, it was not an Apple Mac game, was it?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. But you know me, I do like to. I don't like to go with the obvious. I like to try and come up with stuff that's a little bit prosaic. This was. Tell me when you've got something to show. There you go. This
I haven't shown. He's tapping into.
Have you got my video? So I don't know if you've got. Yeah. So the fellow that comes out the lift. Tell me if I'm wrong, but isn't that Andy Morphs? I was saying for the very first day.
I don't know. It's identify. No, it says "Good evening, Professor."
It's not him clearly, but from the very first minute that I saw Andy, it reminded me of this character. Isn't it funny how your mind goes backwards? This this game, it's 1991, so the year I married my very good wife and childhood sweetheart. But it was so this is widely considered one of the top 30, probably top 10 Commodore Amiga games of all time, and in fact, largely by developers themselves as a trendsetter, possibly one of the top 50 games of that age across any platform. And what made it particularly interesting was, firstly, it was developed by a French guy. And as you know, if you look back at any of the early games, any retro games from the 80s, where they were designed by the French, they were always different. There was always something aesthetically or mechanically different. Yeah. And this was one of those. Believe it or not, and all of the animation is has a beautiful motion capture-esque quality to it.
Yeah, it does seem like ahead of its time.
Yeah, visually, I mean, obviously it's it's limited by the pixels on the screen, but the actual motion is very realistic and almost video-like. The amazing thing is, it took 2 years to make on one guy, one individual. The only other person involved in this game was for the soundtrack. And so the whole thing, the game development itself, the mechanics, the story, the animation, the motion capture, the whole works was one guy over 2 years. So he's a bit of a legend. The
animation is pretty impressive.
It really is, isn't it? When you think how we're talking 30 odd years now, that is it's something to behold. So it's a huge kind of say naturalistic. Traditional heads up. The other thing was, you'll see
what you do
it's you explore a massive world. It was called Another World in Europe. It was called Out of This World in the States. And one of the things that you'll notice, and again unique at the time, no heads-up display, no compass.
That's
no
what it
map.
is. I was just thinking, it looks like a sort of a really beautiful animated sort of early computer animation. Animation.
Exactly. It's almost like you could imagine the early bods at Pixar doing something.
Yeah.
But yeah, you went from screen to screen exploring this world, and there would be puzzles to solve and bizarre creatures to deal with and so on. But just a beautiful game. I'm just one you could lose yourself in.
You can see the thing that sets it apart is rather than stick with the sort of sideways scrolling perspective, they've storyboarded it out, and they throw in points of view.
Yes.
So, for instance, he's walking side-scrolling. He's walking up to a beast, and then the beast roars, and then you get the point of view of him looking at the beast.
Yes.
So it's been storyboarded out, which already is ahead of its time.
Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
most games would just stick with the side-scrolling perspective.
Well, you remember
it gives it
back
another dimension as soon as you put in point of views, close-ups.
Yeah.
Over the head, like you're storyboarding a film or something.
Yeah, and back when we were younger, Clive, and I forget the name of the title now, but there was those big Laserdisc games at the time, the kind of forerunner of DVD, and they were they were professionally animated sequences that were strung together with a kind of quick time way.
What was that one?
Yeah, what was it called?
I know the famous one.
Yeah,
it's animated by a famous animator.
Yeah, like Disney guy, and the thing is that we saw those graphics, but we knew we couldn't afford one of those discs. They were very expensive, but this kind of work got damn close to it, because although you were limited by the amount of pixels, as I say, the fluidity of the animation and the kind of realism of it was just a step away from that
the
place.
storyboard. He'd look down and picked up the gun.
Yeah.
And we saw him looking at the gun. Just those added extra shots.
Yeah.
Which gives it real dimension. Dragon's Lair. Thank you, Zero Games.
Dragon's Lair. Yeah,
that's it. Well done.
Well done, Zero.
House points to Zero Games.
Yes, there you go. That's it. And it's that kind of, for me anyway, as a kid, and even today, realism is really important in the games I play, which is why I don't like mobile games, and I struggle with a lot of the Japanese stuff. It's no disrespect from a gaming perspective; they're great fun, but I love to play a game that makes me feel like it's a livable, playable movie.
Like you're part of a movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
that's just my favourite. Yeah, exactly right. And this at that time was on the money for that, and
it's really it's. I mean, actually, look at that. Again, just really imaginative use of limited resources to create a sense of world. I don't know why I'm bigging this up. Jesus Christ. But yeah, it's crap. Yeah. No, that's actually now I didn't know what that was, but now I'm beginning to remember it, and people, my friends and colleagues, talking about it, and with fondness. But yeah, actually, really clever the way they've kind of captured the sense of the world.
Labor of love, and 2 years, one guy. I mean, that in and of itself is an amazing feat. So that one is my offering for today.
Right then, chat. It's either S, Star Fox, A for another. Vote away. Use your sense here. Come on.
Yes.
Yeah. Are we going for Star Fox Adventures? Classic Shigeru Miyamoto, or this avant-garde French nonsense? No, this beautifully rendered Commodore 64 game. Let us know. S for Star Fox, A for Another World. Put it in the vote. Makes your choice. Don't be shy, chat. It's all down to you. Otherwise, we'll just sit here all day until one of you answers.
Until
Hello,
wins.
Krampus. How you doing, man? S. Yes, you have, Zero Games. You've got to make a choice. There's no fence sitting here. Star Fox. Another game like that was the Flashback. Yeah, Desidini, is that a vote or just a comment? Yeah.
He's followed it up with an A. He followed it up with an A.
Steady Krampus. Yeah, we got to deduct Steady Krampus because he's a
patron
of yours.
He's just being very nice.
He's taking a bong.
Yes. He's smoking a bong.
Oh, come on, Star Fox lovers.
It was a lovely game, Clive. I did my best to sell it for you, mate.
You did. It's a beautiful game. I've just people. Yeah. Well, that's a good one. Another World.
I keep finding these little gems.
You do. Find these little gems.
Yeah.
Right. Next 5 seconds. I'm calling it.
Little fox. But it's got to be an S, otherwise it doesn't count.
Come on. I'm just be looking back at the chat in a minute. Okay, A Yoshida Fox. We've got 2 foxes and 2 A's.
Ooh.
What's it going to be?
I don't know. I'm seeing 3 A's, Clive.
Where do you see the 3 A's?
Hang on, Yoshida's whacked in an S and a fox. I'm seeing 0 with an A.
Okay, yeah. Krampus with an A, Desidini with A. That's 3 A's.
Yeah.
All right. The A's have it. I'm calling it. Well done. Well, yeah.
No, I don't. I don't revel in victory. I just take it magnanimously. It's the way to be. Philosophically.
I don't have my cheers button on there.
No need to cheer.
Come on, you're going to have random
all in a good day's work. Very good. That was stiff competition, though, Clive.
Yeah, we'll see the A Holt. Don't rub it in.
Genuinely didn't think I was going to win that one.
Yeah, I didn't, to be honest.
No.
I'm bitterly disappointed.
No, but that's the difference between us.
I did my hopes. I mean, I pulled out the Shigeru Miyamoto again.
You did, I know.
Rare games.
It was a great game.
Jesus.
Maybe a little
I'm writing
too
to
slick.
Shigeru now, so he's let me down.
Oh no, Zero feels bad now. Don't you listen to his old flannel,
No.
Zero. Don't you listen to it, mate.
Yeah,
if he'd won, he'd be doing a little dance around the room there. He'd be going, don't you listen to him, mate.
I'm an excellent winner.
Holtz, you arrived too late. Holtz has arrived too late because I'm sure he would have given you an S.
No, he voted. He did vote.
Oh, he did he? Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It didn't count.
No, it was, fair point. Fair point. Never mind. That's the way it goes, mate, I'm afraid. Do better next time. You can't keep... Don't pull another Pac-Man. Can't be whacking them in like that, mate.
No more Pac-Man.
No. Susie Sue.
Right, what I'm just trying to do here, just get the try and get the chat up. It's refusing to work.
Oh yes, your special chat.
It's not working again. Never works when I want it to work.
It worked last night. It's very good.
Yeah. Anyway, there we go. It's not working. It's not. We're not going to have it. So there we go. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Another show done. Another victory for Rokk.
His good self.
Yeah. I hope you enjoyed that show. If you did enjoy the show, make sure you hit the like. If you didn't enjoy the show, then hit the like and we'll see what we can do for you next time. Okay. Encourage us to make it better. That's the main thing. Share your love. If you're new here, whack that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you know when we go live with these videos. And we do plan to do some more live streams on this channel. I hope you enjoyed the Doom 64. Let me know if you enjoyed the Doom 64. We're going to be doing more sort of retro games. Rokk, feel free whenever, if you've got any retro games you want to
You know, we spoke the other week about me playing all 64 games on
All
my little
64
Commodore
games.
64, all of them, for charity, to try and raise the last couple of £100 for my
Yeah.
Rokk versus Cancer in Children. So I'm hoping to do that before the end of the month. That'll be a weekend effort, I think, but
Yeah.
all 64 of the Commodore 64 games.
That's a good
And
title
not just
there,
for
it's got
30
ring to it.
seconds either. We'll play till the sun goes down and comes back up again.
Streaming 64 Commodore 64 games. I like it.
Yep. Gonna do
It's
that.
going to be a
my
good
friend.
one.
Yep. We'll do
All
that
right,
for
guys.
charity.
Well, thank you for being here again. It means a lot that you turn up on your Tuesday night to spend your evening or afternoon or wherever you are with us. We really, really appreciate it. So on that note, it's a goodbye from me.
And it's a goodbye from him.
Goodbye, Generation X retro gaming fans. Goodbye.
Take care, guys.
And God.
Rock out.
Rock out.